Pharaoh versus President, Similarities and Differences. There is more in common between ancient pharaohs and modern presidents than people care to admit, and while nowadays the two positions are seen as completely different, at a closer look, many of their features overlap. The pharaoh and the president are both responsible for the well-being of their people and are entrusted with ensuring the prosperity of their countries. However, when choosing between the two, I would prefer to be a pharaoh. A pharaoh is a hereditary position bestowed upon a person by the right of birth. While it does not require any qualifications and merits, which is usually seen as a downside of a monarchical system, it can be a benefit for the holder of the title. Indeed, it is widely known that many conscientious and hardworking people could not make it to the top because the competition in the presidential system is huge. To become a president, a person should get the majority of votes, and the ability of a candidate to do it does not always reflect how good a president he or she may become. The other way to become a president is to step into this position from the title of vice president on the death or serious injury of the post holder. However, in this case, it is still necessary to prove one's ability in the political realm to become a vice president. The responsibilities of a pharaoh and a president also differ. The president is the head of executive power, whose task is to enact laws issued by the legislative body. A pharaoh is the head of three branches of powers: legislative, executive, and judicial, and he issues laws and enacts them. Moreover, he pronounces the final judgment on any controversial issues or matters. The similarities between the responsibilities of a president and a pharaoh are seen in the military field. Thus, both a president and a pharaoh are commanders-in-chief of their countries. However, while a pharaoh may announce a war when he pleases, the president may only do so on the legislative body's sanction. Both a president and a pharaoh form the cabinet of ministers at their discretion and choose people who will help them manage the country. The difference between a president and a pharaoh is most pronounced in the religious field. Thus, religion demands unquestioning obedience to the pharaoh, otherwise, a person is threatened with terrible disasters during life and after death. The idea of the divinity of the pharaoh is well pronounced. He is recognized as the Son of God in the flesh. When the pharaoh dies, he is counted among the host of gods and, like them, receives eternal worship in the temple in front of the huge pyramid where he rests. In presidential systems, the religious and civil branches of power are divided, so a president has no authority over religious congregations. Indeed, many people may disapprove of a president because he is of a different faith from them. However, a president does have responsibilities that deal with religion. Thus, he has to ensure that the freedom of faith and consciousness is maintained throughout the country and that no religious community or congregation is oppressed because of their beliefs. Both the president and the pharaoh were responsible for the well-being of their people and the prosperity of their countries. However, a president is an elective position, while a pharaoh is an inherited one. While the pharaoh's powers were more extensive, including the ability to issue laws and pronounce judgment, both a president and a pharaoh were the heads of the executive power. Moreover, both are commanders-in-chief of their countries in case of war. Finally, in the religious field, the pharaoh was closely associated with God, while the president was seen as the head of civic power. Taking all the above into consideration, I would like to be a pharaoh because this position offers more opportunities to work for the benefit of one's country without restrictions and is more popular with people who see a pharaoh as the embodiment of God.